So, this is the first of my recordings about my experience in the army. I wanted to just kind of tell you some of the stories about the bullshit that I had to go through. So, there was this one time during my annual training. There was this NCO, and she was just like a total bitch. Just for reference, like I was a combat engineer. I made the mistake of deciding to do that, but it's whatever. I heard the name engineer, and I was like, oh darn, engineer, that sounds cool. I was told you get to build bridges, you get to do all this stuff, but it's not actually as cool as they were trying to say it was. So, during this annual training, we'll call her Shartner. That's her name, 'cause she's fucking was like a shit in a fart. She was fucking disgusting. But anyway, she always made this big fuss about like, because she was a female, everybody was discriminating against her, that nobody liked her because of that, so she just had to be a bitch to everybody. That was just the attitude she had. So during this annual training, she was just always on everybody's asses. She was screaming at everybody, like all the lower enlisted, like anybody that wasn't a sergeant or below, anybody that was below a sergeant, So, like, just screaming. And it was, like, hot. It was, like, 80 degrees out. And, we were putting up concertina wire. We were putting up fences. It was bullshit. And, it was a tiring day. Everybody was exhausted. We had, 5 people pass out. But that's because they were, all the NCOs were just standing back and watching all the lower enlisted build this concertina wire wall, and they were just standing back and yelling at us damn, that was insane. It was like that that movie with The Rock in it where he's all the workers are getting whipped. It was like that, just hurry the fuck up. It's like, well, you want this wall to get done, buddy. How about you all start helping too instead of standing back and supervising? But nah, they would all stand back and watch us grab these big bundles of concertina wire and lift it all up in the heat. And then anytime something got wrong, you didn't say sergeant, you just had to push in the heat and do flutter kicks and dumb things like that, and then you wonder why everybody's passing out. And it was this one time, I was just exhausted, and I just sat down and just started opening up my MRE, and Shartner frickin' comes up to me, and this other person that I'm sitting next to, and starts screaming at us and says, hurry the fuck up, you have 5 minutes. Now, it takes for frickin' ever to open a damn MRE if you don't have your E-tool, or not your E-tool, but your multi-tool on you. And, I was scrambling around looking for my multi-tool as I'm getting screamed at to find, what I need to open it up. And she's just standing there, behind us, yelling at us and screaming, hurry the fuck up, you have 5 minutes, hurry up. This is basic or something. Back when I was in basic, that's what happened. They would scream at you. Be like, oh, you have 15 minutes. All right, you have 5 minutes. All right, now drink the last piece or whatever you can and let's go. All right, that's basic. This isn't supposed to be your normal unit. But I guess that's how it works in combat engineer units. So, and actually, the thing is, I've talked to a lot of people from other units that say that they've had similar experiences. So yes, this is a common thing throughout combat engineer units. She just wanted to wave her dick around and show that she was better than everyone else and that she should be respected. The thing is, I respected her rank. You know, I didn't care if she was a female or not, but she had this impression that, like, I didn't like her because she was a female in NCO, but, you know, it's like, she just went around waving her I'm a female around and telling everybody, oh, I'm a female, you're disrespecting me. So, and then that goes later into the story. So, like, basically, you know, like maybe, well, I don't know, but she says, all right, now make sure to also top off your water before you go back out. You have like about a minute left. And then I get up and then I try to ask her because like my camel pack's on my armor on the back, and it's like really hard to get off, and I wouldn't be able to do it in that time. So I tried to talk to her and ask her like nicely, hey, can you help me out? Help like kind of pour it in the back or whatever in the camel pack. But instead of just being a sane, normal, nice human being, or even a leader, because leaders are actually supposed to, you know, help you out when you need it. Instead of being a nice, normal, sane person, she was like, no, shut the fuck up, hurry, go, your time is up. And she wouldn't even let me get a word out. Like, and then I said, so she's like, go. And then I said, I heard you the first time, Sergeant, fuck. Like, I yelled it at her, like, because she was just screaming in my face and yelling, like, holy fuck, this is a subscription to basic training. Like, why would I have to put up with that bullshit? And that's the thing. Like, that's all it was, because this was the National Guard, you know, like, once a month I'd go in, I'd get smoked over, like, you know, nothing. It was bullshit. So, you know, I went along, and as I'm, you know, because she's screaming at me to run and hurry up, and as I'm going, she says, okay, we'll talk about this later. And then I go to my first line leader, because God forbid, you know, you talk to your first line leader, and they're actually going to help you out and, you know, be a real NCO, a real sergeant, a real leader, and actually hear your side of the story. But no, I go up to this guy, and I try to talk to him. I try to say, hey, like, you know, I'm not being treated right. You know, I was getting screamed at the moment I sat down to eat. And, you know, I just had it because it's a hot day and I'm tired and I'm exhausted. And Sergeant Shartner is screaming at me. And so I said, I heard you the first time, Sergeant. Fuck. I explained it to him. And then Shartner comes up and then says, hey, frickin' push. And then they smoked the shit out of me for like 20 minutes in the hot sun. I mean, I don't know if it was 20 minutes. It felt like an hour. It felt like forever. But I got the shit smoked out of me for like a really long time. And then I felt so damn exhausted. I'm surprised I didn't pass out. Like I said, 5 people passed out at least. But, you know, fuck the people that you're making do the work because you got your stripes, so you're too damn lazy to do the work that your subordinates are doing. Fuck them, you know. And I got way more shit because of that. Like, I got the shit smoked out of me every single day of that annual training. Like, I have more to talk about it. But, you know, it's already been like about, you know, almost 10 minutes of me explaining this story. So, you know, I'm going to have part 2 about this. I mean, I have a lot more stories to talk about and things to bring up. So be sure to listen, you know.